Well, we're in the lovely little village of Fornham, which is just on the edge of Bury St Edmunds, and this is the Church of All Saints. It's right by the side of a reasonably busy road, but the setting is just superb. What a beautiful church. And we've got houses little next to it which were old cottages once. A lovely neighbour. Look at that. Look at those. Aren't they stunning? It's got beautiful shrubbery and trees surrounding it. And here we have a church notice sign, I guess. Fornham All Saints. With a mask, shield mask, and some swords. Some benches in front here. Notice board. Oh dear, there's a wheelie bin. But the church is open. Church open. That's wonderful. Lovely gravel path to the entrance to the porch of the church. Graves right on the edge here. You feel quieter as soon as you get into this yard here and away from the road. The tower is lovely. That's got 4 spires on each corner. Very grand. My guess is that they were added at a later date. I doubt if they were there when it was first built. Another wheelie bin. The entrance porch is extremely grand. Big cross in the middle. Another bench. Some quite grand gravestones here. Let's have a look, see if we can read any of them. No, there's nothing we can read there.
To the memory of the Reverend Richard Haggett, M.A., who died February 21st, 1868, by the looks of it.
Right, so that was one of the vicars, presumably of this church, in the middle of the Victorian period. This looks like it was very grand at one point, little columns on it, but it's fallen into some disrepair. I think that actually used to come along, had a sort of a terrace around it. There's something on here. Very difficult to read. There's some floodlights here for lighting the church, and all the graves there very old. They've been there some time. Doesn't seem to be any recent ones. Every graveyard and churchyard that we go to, we find all the old headstones are falling over, and I guess no one actually puts them upright. So we're away from the main road, and which it seems to be extremely busy today. But as soon as you come into this churchyard, you hear the birds, and you can smell all the flowers and fragrances of spring. And also you can see the cottages that are around, and you can imagine what it was like 100 years ago, when basically the same structures were here, but the setting was more peaceful, more relaxed. I'm guessing that this area here is an extension added, I would guess, in the 19th century, when I suspect that this church, like most of them here, were restored and extended. There's an additional, not very attractive looking, added bit here, which looks as if it was done quite recently. That's a modern take on the flint building technique. It's an automatic door. That's amazing. That's modern, but built in the style. There's a window up there, looks like it's been blocked in.
Sacred to the memory of John Smith, who died 31st of July 1854, aged 34 years. Also Fanny Markwell, daughter of John and Louisa Smith, who died 9th of March 1854, aged 6 years.
The name of Fanny, you don't see that much around here, but it was fairly fashionable at the time. In fact, one of my relatives was named Fanny. And here we have...
Here's the father of Fanny, John Markwell, June, died of 15th of October 1843, aged 44 years.
Well, they were dying quite young, really. This looks as if it's had some work fairly recently on the flint. It's all in excellent condition. You can see where the older stone is worn, and some of the, or most of that flint has been repointed. That whole tower base has been reworked on, and this is older, and the style of flint is different as well. If you look at flint, it all looks the same until you start to study it, and then you realize there's a lot of difference in the technique of the flint, and whether the flint has been knapped, whether it's been split in half. This is where you've got the whole stone, and in other places you've got the inside of the flint, as you have here. That's where the flint's been knapped, it's been cut in half, as it were. Right, we've got a beautiful porch here. As I say, it's very ornate, and it looks as if a lot of this was added in the 19th century. The screen up above, and the screen door, which is open. The black and red tiles again. Now that's a lovely door and column and arch around it. Very grand and well done. A nice ceiling with carvings on it. This is a bit upmarket, this one, this church, I think. There's a nice lot of flowers there. Right. Well, somebody's been busy here. We've got hands everywhere. Is it the hand of the Lord? It's probably the hand of some local children who made these, perhaps. So we've got hands around the font. We've got wooden ceilings. There again, half wood, and the interiors have been clad and plastered. We've got different pews, older ones by the look of it here, and newer ones there. This will be the door to the tower. Looking down the length of the church, we've got a variation in the ceilings again, whereas the ceiling at the end there has had more cladding done to it. This is one of the little extensions at the side. We've got the rest here.
The first one is in 1086 in the reign of William I.
1086, that's
That's,
a long time ago.
there was no rector's name there, and the first rector's name was William of Tottington, I think, and that was in 1308 in the reign of Edward II.
In this church. I would imagine it was a lot smaller then. This is one of the extensions that was built here. That's a very nice ceiling in here. And a nice useful extra space. Maybe for Sunday schools. Windows here are just tinted with clear borders. Actually, they've got a little bit of a blue tint. It's faded a bit, I guess. Church notices. It's very quiet in here. You can't hear the cars really from the road, so it's very pleasant. The view of the church here is excellent, so we can see a good view of the church, and it's got a very big organ there with a massive set of pipes. Lovely sunlight coming in on this side. There again with slightly tinted windows and slightly blue edging on it. It is covered mainly in the typical red and black tiles, but we've got carpeting on the main thoroughfares. Nice here banner that All Saints, Fornham. Some of the first class peers would be sitting here in these pews. Very important people. And they've got heating underneath, yes. That is very decadent. That organ, I don't know how old that would be, whether it would be Edwardian, but certainly the pipes are big. Oh, and look at the ceiling. I hadn't seen or noticed how lovely that was. That's fabulous. Got that cross beading, all the motives in little panels. It's really lovely ceiling. Beautiful, beautiful ceiling. And a stupendous, absolutely stupendous stained glass window. Some of these windows were made in Birmingham. I don't know. This would be one by a company. I don't know the name. And then you've got the cross each side, an alcove on that side, and flower arrangement there. That's just beautiful. 2 chairs there with another flower arrangement. Somebody's done the flowers very nicely here. It's lovely to see the people that come here and look after these churches and keep the flowers going. Another tiled floor, which is different to a lot of the others. I don't know how unique the pattern is. We have a gate on this side. This one is a gate that comes over. Oops. And down. Three little steps, but a heater there. Quite a few heaters in this church. This door is lovely. It's got a beautiful little alcove to the side of it. Just that would make a lovely picture. It's just beautiful. But there are heaters everywhere here. They certainly don't want to get cold on a winter's day here. There's a big cross here. So all these windows are nice because they're consistent. They've got the same tint and the same sort of very light blue edging. They give in a beautiful light, which was the idea, I guess. Another heater, another alcove. And here we can see a change in the floor. Hard to tell what the reason for this. Something was here that was taken away. It's very difficult. This is all worn. Whether this, well, that's probably been replaced at the end, but maybe it's simply that it was worn here, or something was sitting here. We can only guess without knowledge. The hands are good. All the cushions with all different things on them. It's a lovely little church. I don't know what's behind there. Another area. This is a beautiful church in a beautiful setting. There's an expression as pretty as a picture. It certainly applies to this. That is a picture. It's a painting. It's a postcard. It's just everything that's beautiful. It's an English country church, and you'll never find one more beautiful than that on a day like this. Fabulous.